Say thank you. That's right. So if you want to sing as the birdies sing, dance as the rabbits dance, fly like the butterflies, flow as the river flows, look at the world, say thank you. Okay, please sing along. If you want to sing as the birdies sing, sing as the birdies sing, sing as the birdies sing. If you want to sing as the birdies sing, look at the world, say thank you. If you want to dance as the rabbits dance, dance as the rabbits dance, dance as the rabbits dance. If you want to dance as the rabbits dance, look at the world, say thank you. If you want to fly like the butterflies, fly like the butterflies, fly like the butterflies. If you want to fly like the butterflies, look at the world, say thank you. If you want to flow as the river flows, flow as the river flows, flow as the river flows. If you want to flow as the river flows, look at the world, say thank you. Look at the world, say thank you. Okay, thank you.
As you probably can guess, our reading is taken from the Rays of the One Light, the weekly commentaries on the Bible and Bhagavad Gita by Swami Kriyananda. And this week, the law of karma, bondage or soul release. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. The epistle of St. Paul to the Galatians contains this oft-quoted statement. Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. An autobiography of a yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, tells a story from the life of the Benares saint Trilanga Swami. A skeptic once determined to expose Trilanga as a charlatan. A large bucket of calcium lime mixture used in whitewashing walls was placed before the Swami. Master, the materialist said in mock reverence, I have brought you some clabbered milk. Please drink it. Trilanga unhesitatingly drained to the last drop the container full of burning lime. In a few minutes, the evildoer fell to the ground in agony. Help, Swami, help, he cried. I'm on fire. Forgive my wicked test. The great yogi broke his habitual silence. Scoffer, he said, you did not realize when you offered me poison that my life is one with your own. Except for my knowledge that God is present in my stomach, as in every atom of creation, the lime would have killed me. Now that you know the divine meaning of boomerang, never again play tricks on anyone. The well-purged sinner, healed by Trilanga's words, slunk feebly away. Yogananda goes on to say, the reversal of pain was not due to any volition of the master, but came about through unerring application of the law of justice, which upholds creation's farthest swinging orb. Men of God realization like Trilanga allow the divine law to operate instantaneously. They have banished forever all thwarting cross-currents of ego. Not by reason alone, but by self-realization, are the ins and outs of destiny fully understood. Their web, though tied forever to the post of ego motivation, is too intricate to be perceived as a single thread. Only great masters can see it with clarity. It is visible to them in all its workings, not from within the tangle, but from above in superconsciousness. As Sri Krishna said in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he who holds inaction in action and action in inaction is wise among men. He is one with the Spirit. He has attained the true goal of action, perfect freedom. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om.
My name is Lorna, and this is Nayaswami Bharati. And it's so fun because it's our turn to do this. And this morning, what we have, wait a minute, I just want to upside down, backwards, all my stuff. Isn't this altar amazing? Christmas colors. Does anybody else notice that? Yep, Christmas colors. It's coming. We have a Christmas tree waiting outside that's going to go up today. It's out there. But the altar is really a beautiful blessing. Last week, I had the joy of working with Ishwari, and we worked together on the altar that we had set up for World Brotherhood Day, the event on Sunday night. It was a lot of fun. We got to go really Indian that night, and we had fun drying out saris and pinning and comparing colors and looking at purples and reds and everything, and it was a great joy. But I was looking at this whole setup and realizing for the 100th time that there's more going on here than just a pretty thing to look at up here and a place to put the pictures of our guru. There's this spiritual eye here up at the front, which is the source where we concentrate, where we focus during meditation. That star in the middle is the Christ consciousness. That's where we want to go. Go into that star. And from that star, from that spiritual eye, come the masters, because they're pure expressions of that. As he was saying in the reading, Trilanga had no thwarting cross currents anymore. He was a pure reflection of that spirit. That's what these masters are. They come from that light to give us that expression, that perfect example, and that beautiful manifestation of that light. And then they give us gifts. They give us the teachings, they give us their example, they guide us, they love us. And it manifests here as flowers. And that light that is within us, they bring that light, that little light, and show us that light. And then it all goes back the other way too, doesn't it? You can take that whole idea and then go back the other way with the altar. We come, when Ishwari and I were here doing the altar, we're offering. The flowers go up. The flowers are an offering of our love, our devotion, our aspirations. The little light in the Festival of Light that we do later, there's a line that says, we offer up the little light that is within us into the blazing light of infinity. And then we offer it through the channels of these masters that come to help us, that come show us the way because of their purity, because of the fact that they have that light so clearly and it shines so brightly through them, and they show us the way back to that light here. And it occurred to me also that the whole altar, of course, doesn't stop here. Right here, it keeps going. This whole building is part of that altar. Everything that we bring into this building is what we offer to the gurus. Everything that we take home with us, it comes from the gurus. Everything, and of course that can keep going. It just keeps going from the temple out into our lives, into the school and the Ananda house and Laurelwood and all the manifestations of that light here, and then out into our everyday lives. It can all be an altar. It can all be an offering and a receiving. The definition of gratitude, if you saw that, heard that in the reading, is energy returned for energy received. So when we offer gratitude, we're recognizing that flow. We're recognizing that source, that everything is coming to us, and then what we have to do is return that. It's very interesting, the relationship to karma, which is our other topic. If you haven't yet read this book, this is a wonderful, wonderful offering through one of our Guru Bhais, through Bharat Cornell. And he wrote this, put this together, compiled it, Om, the Melody of Love. And it focuses on one of the aspects manifestations of God, of sound, of that sound of Om. It's rich with all kinds of wonderful things. There's a story in here about a woman who he spoke with that told him of her experience. She had surgery for advanced cancer, and she woke up from the anesthesia after her surgery, and she was in a great deal of pain. And she explained to him that she wasn't really afraid of dying so much as she was in this sort of dark place, as she told him, of all this pain and trying to focus and trying to use the techniques and be in the consciousness that she knew she wanted to be. And she prayed deeply to Master, her guru, Yogananda. And she said, please help me. I'm not afraid of dying if that's what needs to happen. But I always try as your disciple to see that everything comes to me is coming from you and is for my highest good. Help me. If I'm to die, I don't want to die in this consciousness, in this darkness, and in this negativity of the pain that I'm experiencing. And she immediately felt, she told Bharat, she immediately felt this calmness and peace come over her. And she heard Master tell her, it's okay, I'll help you through this. But the key is to be grateful for everything. So she knew, she said, laying there, she knew that he was asking for complete acceptance. So she tried. She tried to work on being grateful. She realized that she had to be grateful, he said, for everything. For every time they stuck her with the IV, for every time they had to intubate her, for every pain, for everything that the nurses had to do to her, for every doctor, for every nurse that came in the door, for every circumstance, for every moment, everything. And she worked on that. She said it was like climbing a ladder. With each step, each thing, she tried to open her heart and be grateful. And she could feel herself rising out of that darkness into a place within a few hours, she said, of just wonderful light and joy. Because she let go of all of that she didn't want to give up. And that argument that we have with ourselves all the time of it shouldn't be like this. I want it to be different. And a lot of people can look at that story and of course would say that the circumstances she found herself in, that was her karma, right? That's how we would try to describe it as yogis. That was her karma and that she had to deal with it. Karmic law, as Swami describes it, Swami Kriyananda is a direct disciple of Yogananda, that's his picture over there. He says it's an expression of divine love, karmic law. It's very interesting when you look at this, the definition of karma is almost synonymous, very, very similar to gratitude, isn't it? Karma means that we put out energy and we receive back the energy that we put out. Scientists will describe the karmic law by saying that energy can't be created, cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. So that means that we can, like our purification ceremony, we can burn up our little pieces of paper and see them go up in flames. But we're not destroying anything, we're transforming it in the light of the fire, right? Fire is an excellent metaphor, excellent symbol for that transformation. But scientifically, if you looked at the energy, we wouldn't be losing any. There's no loss of energy, it's just a transformation. And so the karmic law says that we take the energy that we receive from there, from God, from the source. There's only one source. So all the energy that we receive, everything comes from that one source. So we take that one source of energy, we take that energy that we receive, and then we transform it, don't we? We transform it into beautiful temples, into wonderful schools, into our workplace, into serving people at Home Depot, which is all day. We transform that energy. We take it and we use it and we transform it. And if we transform it into something that is in harmony with that divine source, if we use it in a way that's in harmony and in perfect attunement with that divine source, then we don't have to worry about karma. There's no karma. There's no, what you're doing is you're just being part of that flow. It just flows out. And that's what happens with the masters. They can act and do all of these things that they do. Yogananda came to this earth and acted with a lot of energy for all the years he was on this planet. He created things, he built buildings, he wrote, he created an organization, he traveled and spoke and touched the lives of millions of people. But he didn't have any karmic connection to that because it was all perfectly in tune with that divine flow. So he had no thwarting cross currents. And he did it knowing that he was acting as an instrument of God. It wasn't his. Did you guys ever have, when you were young, I'm sure in Living Wisdom School they don't say this, but in an effort to try to cope with the mean words sometimes of children, when I was younger, they'd say, "I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything you say bounces off me and sticks on you." Is there anybody else that can, or is that there we go, David's familiar with that one. That's what I always think of when I think of karma. But we have to turn it around a little bit, because what happens really is the reason karma comes back to us, the reason for that boomerang effect that he described in the reading, is because we're the ones who are sticky. We're the ones who have the thought and the commitment to the fact that I'm the one who's doing this. This is me. I'm the one with cancer. I'm the one who, has to go to work. I'm the one who's doing this or saying this. I'm the one who's serving. I'm the one who hurts. I'm the one who, won the lottery. Whatever it is that's happening, we're committed to the fact that it's me, this little person, this little ego, this life that's all about me. And so what happens is that action that we put out, it's stuck. We're sticky. It goes out and it's looking for a place to stick. And it's us. That comes back, that karma comes around because we are hanging on to it. If we let go of it and say, it's not mine, this is all God coming through. Master even said, Swami would ask him when he did a healing or when he did something, Swami wanted to understand more carefully, he would ask him why. Or would you have done that for this reason or that reason? And Master would just say, I only do that, I only did that, or I only do things because Divine Mother asks me to. He told him, when was it when he asked Swami to come out to help him with the editing of his book? There was an incident that Swami describes in his book that Yogananda said, I asked Divine Mother who I should take, and your face came to mind. I asked her several more times, and your face kept coming up. So you're the one so I'm asking you. It was always, what does Divine Mother want me to do? What is it that is in tune, perfectly in tune, absolutely perfectly in tune with that? And then, like I said, then there's no karma. Then it's just divine flow. It flows out into the universe. And it's that, like our affirmation, it's just like incense floating up into the world, sharing that light. But when we do it and we're holding on to it and we want a certain result and we feel a certain way about it and we're hoping for this or we're hoping for that and we're disappointed about that, that's all the stuff that's going to come back because it's not in tune, and it comes back, looks for a place, and it comes back to us. And then we get a chance to work on that again and again until we get it, until we get it right. Swami Kriyananda says that success in life depends on how well we obey the dictates of karmic law. This law concerns what we do, not what is done to us as its passive recipients. Even what we receive in life is an energy we ourselves have already generated and have therefore attracted to ourselves. Found that line really fascinating. This law concerns what we do, not as what is done to us. And I knew that intellectually. Karma means action. The word karma is a Sanskrit word that just means action. So the karmic law is about action. Action that how we act and what happens with that. But this idea of not what is done to us as passive recipients, most of the time that's the way I hear karma being discussed, is it was my karma to do that. It was just, I had this big karmic bomb go off. I had this karma or that karma. I guess it's just my karma to wind up here, or it's my karma to go there, or it's something coming at us and we just have to take it, But if we think of it in terms of acting, then that's right now. My karma is what I'm doing right now, how I'm acting, where my consciousness is, what are the words coming out of my mouth. That's my karma, that's my action. And then all we have to worry about is it in tune? Is it coming from that light? Is it coming through that source? Are we acknowledging the source and paying attention to the source of that energy and sending that energy out? Or are we trying, as individuals, our little self, trying to create energy ourselves or destroy energy ourselves, which we can't do? The scientists have already told us that. The yogis tell us that. We can't create it ourselves. It comes from the source and it just goes through us. So karma is what it is that we're doing. What is your karma now? What is your karma today, right this moment? It's what it is you are doing now. Where is your consciousness? What are you thinking about? What are you saying? How are you moving? How are you feeling? Are you grateful? Are you grateful for everything? That's the key. In this book, again, The Melody of Love, there's a wonderful visualization that he offers, a practice that you can do to help deal with karma, with the tests and the challenges. And we don't have time to do it this morning, but I would recommend it. What he takes you through is a visualization of picturing Divine Mother there in front of you, or Yogananda, your guru, or one of the saints, or whatever inspires you there, that figure offering you whatever test, whatever challenge, whatever thing that is giving you trouble right now, just taking it and offering it to you as a gift. And you visualizing taking that and bringing it and holding it and being grateful for it and accepting it wholeheartedly as this beautiful gift that's specifically for you and your growth. It's a wonderful thing to do because it's true. Everything is offered specifically for us so that we can become free and we can become more and more in tune with that light. I was thinking about driver's tests, because my daughter's talking, she hasn't gotten her driver's license yet, so we've been talking about going for that and how to do that. And you get your learner's permit first, right? And you practice. So as a learning driver, you get to practice and you get to figure out what you're good at, what you're not good at. You can, of course, even take the driver's test more than one time. So you take a test, and a lot of times, like with the SATs, the PSATs, and all at school that you take, you have a chance to take a warm-up, take a test first. And then you see where it is that you need to grow, right? That's the way it works. You practice your driving, and you find out, well, I'm okay with, getting on the freeway, getting off the freeway. I can do that. That's good. I can do this, but parallel parking, parallel parking. Please don't ask me to parallel park, She's driven with a friend of hers who's also a young woman and has not been driving really long. And she says, it's really interesting, Mom. Anna just, when we go into a parking lot, go to Fred Meyer and go to the store, she just parks way over on the back side, away from everybody else. So this is smart, this is good until she gets comfortable with that. So we learn, okay, parallel parking. Well, what do you do? If you can't parallel park and you know it's going to be on the test, you got to practice, don't you? You have an opportunity here to do more of that and figure out how to parallel park. I was recently at Home Depot learning about how to drive forklift, and then another forklift-like machine they call it a reach. It's like a forklift that goes up and down, but it reaches out like this. And it only weighs about 3 tons, and you can pick up, 2 tons of rock and things like that, and then you have to navigate in the store in these aisles that are about this wide, or you have to turn and get these big, huge pallets that are about 20 feet up in the air, and you have to bring them down and turn and not knock anything else over and not kill anybody and not smash anything else and destroy merchandise that's out there. And what's even more fun is people like to watch. So, I didn't know Lorna had her reach license. Hey, look what Lorna's doing that over there. And they all gather and they watch you do this. And so, I just tell myself, okay, it's my opportunity to learn how to do this right. Because we gotta practice. It's no fun. It's a huge challenge. And then there's 2 kinds of reach equipment. There's 2, and of course they're different. So they actually steer in opposite directions, these 2. It's like this joke. They put them out and then they say, oh, you got this one, now do this one. You have to do it completely opposite. And so of course I got a chance to learn on one pretty well, and then I was avoiding the other one, until I finally said, no, Lorna, you can't do that. You've got to learn to drive the other one too, because sometimes that's the only one available. So I had to, force myself to get on there and do that. And that's what we do with our karmic tests, that we call them. The tests are there so that we can learn. We learn what it is that we're not very good at. Learn where it is that we need to work on it until it just flows effortlessly, and we let go of the fact I'm doing it. As I got up onto the reach equipment, I just kept saying, Master knows how to drive this. Master knows how to drive it perfectly. He knows how to do this. So if I just let him do this, I've got to just remember that it's okay. He'll guide me. He'll let me, because he knows how. The more and more we try to get out of the way, and we let that light just shine through, and we're in harmony with that flow, then it becomes something that is effortless, because we aren't doing it anymore. We're no longer sticky. It's all like it just flows, it just glides right off of us. Yogananda says, the only way that human beings can get away from reaping the results of their past actions is to change their status from a human being to that of a divine child. It's the only way. It's not about getting perfect at everything. It's not at all about doing that. We can stay here forever and ever and ever and try to do it all perfectly. It's about remembering who we are and that we are that light. Then once we remember, and he says there's no karma anymore. There's nothing that can stick to you anymore. It's not yours anymore because you're not there. You're in the light. Getting back to this idea of these definitions, gratitude and karma, how similar they are. That we take that energy that we receive, and we return it. We return it for, energy given for energy received. It's our job to take that energy and transform it into something beautiful, and to make it that light that, as Bharati so beautifully prayed at the beginning, for us to see that light everywhere and then to be that light everywhere. And Master, the masters, all the masters are there saying, whispering in our ears, I'll help you through this. The key is to be grateful for everything. I have a beautiful reading from Whispers from Eternity, which is Master's book of poems and prayer demands, number 149. I built a fire of devotion in the dark forest of delusion. Alas, the fire only smoldered. Then thou didst come and set fire to a few of my frailties. That fire quickly spread, consuming the bushes of my prickly desires, my tall, towering vanities, and the thick underbrush of my arrogance. The whole forest of my darkness is blazing, and I behold only thy light shining everywhere. I thank thee, Father, for thy help. Help me thus always. Let me open a path of light for all to follow. Amen.